So it's Monday and we probably all overindulged a little at the weekend. I did. So we're going to do 3 rounds of Wim Hof breathing. We're going to do the last breath hold with a plank, doing toe taps, alternate toe taps. And then we're going to get into a real good power detox yoga practice. We're going to take some of the Kundalini exercises from that tradition to really burn out the abs. And we're going to finish with Ego Eradicator, which is twinning movement with breath of fire, which is really good at heating the internals and burning out some of the crap that we've accumulated. So you're going to need to drink lots of water after this. And we will also try and do, we'll finish doing with a full lotus in the Ego Eradicator. Just see if we can work on that. If not, half lotus, but we'll see where we get to. So let's get started with our breathing. We're going to do 30 very deep in-breaths, and then we're going to hold our breath for 1.5 minutes. So, in through the belly, in through the chest, in through the head, let it go. In through the belly, in through the chest, in the head, let it go. So we're breathing in at 100% of our capacity, and we let it go at about 70%. So we get all the air in, and then let out 70%. Like a wave, the breath's coming in and out, like a circular motion. Get the air right down into the belly, forcing the diaphragm to work hard. You're doing really well. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Like a wave. Any tingling or ringing in the ears, it's all good. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Keep going. You've got 10 more here. You're doing really well. We've got 5 more. Belly, chest, head, let it go. 2 more. Last one. Big breath in. Let it all out. And we're going to hold for 1.5 minutes. If you want to pinch your nose closed to prevent any breathing, accidental breathing through the nose, you can do that. What I usually do is just keep a little bit of pressure into my nose and my face to prevent that happening. But you do what's comfortable for you. And then really just go inside here. Concentrate on all the sensations you're now experiencing in the body. Any lightheadedness, any tingling in the toes or the feet, any sensations in the arms or the legs. Really focus on those. Find your heartbeat. Focus. Go inside. If you do need to breathe before I give the cue, that's fine. Just take your recovery breath and start your breathing again at the end. And if you'd like to hold your breath longer, then when I give the cue, just pause the video and take the breath when you're ready. You're doing really well. Put the body into hermetic stress. So the immune system is switching on. Got 10 seconds. 5 seconds. And big breath in. Push everything up into the brain as though you're squeezing that air into the brain. Hold it, forcing the muscles up. Hold it, hold it, hold it. And release. And let's go to round number 2. So belly, chest, head, let it go. 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 Keep going with that rhythm. Waving in, like a wave in and out. Like a wave in on the shore and out. Keep going. You're doing really well. Big belly breath in, 70% out. Really extend extend those feelings and feel into the sensations you're experiencing. Keep going. You're doing really well. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. We've got 10 more here. Keep going, waving it in and out. Circular breaths. Really forcing the air in now. 5 more. Keep going. Got 1 more here. Big breath in and then let all of the air out, and you can pinch the nose or just put some pressure into the nose so you don't accidentally let some air in. And we're just holding this breath for 1.5 minutes. Again, if you need to breathe before, that's fine. And if you'd like to hold your breath longer, pause the video when I give you the cue. And now just go inside. Really feel into the feelings and sensations in the body. Close down the eyes. You have become the master of your immune system and your autonomic immune system. Previously thought completely impossible. Resetting and redefining science. You're doing really well. Keep going. Ten seconds here. If you want to pause the video, pause it now. 5 seconds. And big breath in, and we're squeezing all the muscles up, squeezing the root lock, the stomach lock, the throat lock. Really squeeze into the head. Squeeze and hold. Push that breath up into the brain. And let it go. We're going to do the final round now. So we're going to belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Keep going, waving it in and out. In and out. At the end of this breath hold, at this break, 30 breaths, we're going to go into a plank and do toe taps, alternating toe taps. If you don't want to do that, go into a normal plank, or stay seated or lying down, or you can do push-ups. You make this practice your own and keep breathing in and out, in and out, like the waves on the shore, waving in and out. You're doing really well. Keep going. Belly, chest, head, let it go. Belly, chest, head, let it go. You're doing super well. Keep going. We've got 10 more. Keep going. Really, really force the air in now. We've got 5 more. Let's give it everything these last few breaths. Really, let's go for it. We've got 1 more here. Big breath in and let it all out. And if you're going to come with me into the plank pose, with the breath out, we go into plank pose now. Find the nice alignment and position, and then tap alternate toes to the side of your mat. Pulling up through the core, pushing up through the shoulders so you're not collapsing into the shoulders, using the strength of your core to keep your stability in this pose, and just really focus. Keep the eyes closed and really focus on the sensations that you're having now. If you feel lightheaded or dizzy, then just come back into a child's pose and you can hold the breath in a child's pose. You're doing really well. Keep going. And then come back onto the knees. We're going to take a big breath in now, recovery breath, pushing everything up into the head. Push, last push now, tense everything up. Hold it and let that go. And I just want you to fall back now into a child's pose and just take some recovery breaths in and out through the nose. Breathing right down into the diaphragm here, in and out through the nose. So from child's pose, we're just going to do a little twist here, starting our twists. So come onto the right shoulder and the right cheek and post that arm underneath the left. And we're just going to take more of a compression into the right side and a stretch in the left and a twist in the torso. And breathe in and out through the nose. And then change arms. So the left comes underneath the right. Come onto the left shoulder and the left cheek. Make sure you sat back onto those feet so you're getting a really good compression into the hips. And breathe. Okay, from here just stretch back one more breath in child's pose. And we're going to do a variation on cat-cow from the Kundalini tradition. So our out breath, we're going to kick the leg out. And with our in breath, we're going to bring the knee to the nose. So it's quite a rapid movement, 10 times on each leg. So out breath, it comes out. In breath, you bring the knee to the nose. Keep going. So out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Keep going, doing really well. And then come back to all fours and we're going to change sides. So with the out breath, the leg comes out. With the in breath, bring it to the nose. So we're still getting the cat-cow movement, but we're also including the legs to really get the lymphatic drainage system going, to detox the body. So keep going. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. In breath, and come back to all fours. And we're going to push back now into a downward dog. And really just start to pedal out the legs. Find some movement in this first downward dog. Remember not to collapse into your arms, your shoulders. Push the floor away. It should be an upside down V. So the heart is melting through the hands and there's no weight in the head at all. So now take a step forward on your mat. Half a step. Bring the right hand to the middle of the mat. And then take hold of the right leg with the left arm and look underneath the right arm. This is a beautiful downward dog variation twist. And just breathe into the stomach. So we're not only twisting here, but we've got an inversion. So this is really working on the internals. Now change hands. So this time the right arm reaches for the left leg and we're twisting the body into a variation on downward dog. And just hold it. Keep breathing. Come back to a longer downward dog. So take a step back. And just breathe here for a second. In and out through the nose. You're doing really well. And then jump to the front of the mat. Monkey, forward fold. Let all of the air go in this forward fold. And then raise up to standing with an in-breath. Take a slight back bend, look up at the sky, tall mountain, and then bring the hands to the... Okay, so from this standing pose, we're going to come into a chair pose. So with an in-breath, raise the hands above the head and sit back into the chair. With at this moment, no weight into the toes, just all the weight is in the heels. Then we're going to do aeroplane chair, so balance chair. So come onto the toes, still keeping the weight backwards. So we're not coming too far over the knees. Back to chair. Breathe in. And just hold it. And then back to that balance chair, aeroplane chair. And hold it there. Pushing back, internally rotating their arms. Come back to chair. Bring the hands to heart center. We're going to take a twist here. So breathe in and take the right elbow to the left knee, gazing to the back of the room. Try and keep the knees in line. So the twist is coming from the spine, not the knees. Now take it to the other side. So the left elbow comes to the right knee, gazing to the back of the room. And then back to center. Raise the arms up with an in-breath, and let's just hold that chair. Hopefully your legs are burning at this stage. Forward fold. Monkey with an in-breath. We're going to take a jump back chaturanga here, but you can step back if you want to. Jump back into chaturanga or step back. Upward dog, in-breath. And then downward dog, out-breath. And just take a breath in this downward dog. Just stretch those legs out after that chair. And then raise the right leg high, three-legged dog. And then step the foot in between the hands. And just sink down into that low lunge. And then we're doing a twist here. So raise the right arm to the ceiling and the left hand stays on the floor. And gaze up at the right hand if you can. Twisted lunge. And look down at the floor for balance. And then raise up in the twist. So we're doing twisted high lunge. And then gaze to the back of the room. And then windmill the arms round. We're going to come into warrior 2. And when you've found the pose with open shoulders and open hips, just sink down into that front knee, making sure the front knee isn't tracking over the toes. Shoulders away from the ears. Weight evenly distributed for both legs. And then we're going to reverse our warrior, stretching all down that right hand side. So from this reversed warrior, we're just going to pop on into half moon pose on the right hand side. So bring the right arm to the mat about a foot in front of the foot and take that left foot back high, opening the hip and opening the shoulders. And if you can, gaze up to the ceiling. Then we're going to take candy cane. So take hold of the left foot with the right arm and then open it back out to half moon. Bring the left arm to the floor and take the right arm up, and we're going to do reverse half moon, twisted half moon. So we're really getting into that abdomen. Come back to half moon, find the pose, and then we're going to come down into a yoga squat, goddess pose, with the hands at heart center, and we're just going to do some little pulses here. So just with a nice straight spine, bouncing up and down on those knees, using the thighs and the core to keep you strong and steady, and then come up to a 5-pointed star, and then fold forward between those legs with a wide leg forward fold, trying to get the head towards the floor. We're going to take a twist here. So take the left hand to the right leg and the right arm high towards the ceiling and gaze up to that arm and breathe here. The more we breathe in these twists, the more the twists really work for us. Now change arms, so right arm to left leg and take the left arm high and gaze up to the left arm and breathe. And then back to that fold, head towards the mat, halfway lift and just use your core strength to hold you here. And then we're going to come down to a side lunge at the front of the mat, so on the right leg. If you can, bring the hands to heart center, if you've got the balance. And we're going to take a twist here. So the right arm comes to the mat and the left arm twists back and opens up the shoulders. Twist to the back of the mat. And then we're going to take that twist again. So left arm to the mat and right arm lifts this time. Hands back to heart center. And then lunge, side lunge to the front of the mat. And then back to the back of the mat. And this time we're going to come to a low lunge at the front of the mat, sinking down into that right knee. And then step back into plank. Take a chaturanga, we take a vinyasa here. So upward dog, downward dog, and then just breathe. Take a few recovery breaths in this downward dog. Making sure you're pushing up from the mat with all 4 limbs. And now we're going to take it on the other side. So raise the left leg up high, up 3-legged dog, and step it through between the hands. Find that low lunge, and then we're going to twist here. So right hand comes to the mat and the left arm raises up to the ceiling, followed by your gaze. Really sinking into that front leg and enjoying this twist. And then we're going to look down at the mat for balance, and then come up to a high lunge with a twist. And now gaze to the back of the room along that left arm. Twisted high lunge. And then windmill the arms round. We're going to come again into warrior 2. Really sink down into that knee and find this pose. From this warrior 2, lean forward and then reverse that warrior, taking a beautiful stretch down the left hand side. And then we're going to pop onto that left foot and come into our half moon, gazing up to the ceiling, opening the shoulders and the hip out. And then we're going to come into our sugar cane, so taking hold of the right leg with the right arm, forming a C. So it's a back bend, hip opener and a shoulder opener. And then we're going to let go of that leg back into half moon. And then bring the right hand to the mat, the left arm raises, and we're going to take twisted half moon pose. Reverse half moon. Bring the left arm back to the mat and open up again into half moon. And then step back into goddess pose with the hands at heart center. And this time we're going to raise the right leg, foot, heel off the mat and pulse. And then change, left heel raises, right heel raises, and pulse. And then sink back down, raise up to 5-pointed star. And this time we're going to fold forward into that forward fold. And our head is going to come towards the floor, and we're going to take a headstand. So you can either do your headstand with your hands in your head, variation, or tripod headstand, or if you don't want to do a headstand, just stay in that forward fold, wide leg forward fold. But if you can come into the headstand, that's amazing. Just hold it here. Just hold that headstand and really focus on the sensations. Okay, now bring it back down to meet me back in a wide legged forward fold. Halfway lift, use your core to hold you here. And then we're going to lunge, side lunge again to the front of the mat. And we'll take that twist. So right arm comes to the floor and left arm twists back. And then we're going to bring the hands back to heart center and lunge to the back of the mat. And this time the right arm comes down and the left arm twists back. Bring the hands back to heart center. And we're going to side lunge to the front of the mat, the back of the mat. And then we're going to take the low lunge at the front of the mat, really sinking down into that lunge. And take it back into your plank, chaturanga, in breath, upward dog, out breath, downward dog. Just take some recovery breaths here. Use this posture to recover from that work. So from this downward dog, we'll take one more breath, and then we're going to raise the head, look to the front of the mat. Just take a little jump through to seated. And from this seated pose, we're going to come into heron. So bring the right foot back towards the groin and take the left foot in the hands, and we're going to try and straighten it. If you can't do this holding onto the foot, you can do it with a strap, or you can hold behind the ankle. And then we're going to take it into a twist. So release the left arm and hold on to the left foot with the right hand, the outside of the left foot, and gaze back along that left arm. And then we're going to take it into a stronger version. So let go of the foot, but hold it as high as you can, holding that twist. And now we're going to go into a balance posture, an arm balance. So take the right leg long along the mat with the knee and the foot facing upwards, and take the left arm over the left leg over the shoulder, like you were putting a rucksack on. And then we're going to push down into the floor and raise the bottom, using core strength to hold those legs off the mat, and come back down. Well done. And now we're going to take that on the other foot. So take the right foot into both hands and straighten the leg, and then we take it into the twist. So holding on to the outside of the right foot with the left hand, take the right arm back and gaze to the back of the room, and just hold it and keep breathing. And we're going to let go of that foot now and maintain that twist using core strength. So keep that foot as high as you can. Now we're going to take that into an elephant pose. So left leg long along the mat, take the right knee over the right shoulder, just like a rucksack, and then push into the floor with the hands and use your core strength to hold everything off the mat. Breathe here, and then bring it back down. Well done. Just give your legs a little wiggle and a shake. You've just worked really hard. Take a forward fold here just to stretch out those hamstrings, and just breathe into this forward fold. Come back up to seated. And now we're going to go into camel pose. Now you can take any variation of this, so you can put the hands at the base of your back and just lean backwards. Or if you want to go it further, you can put the toes into the floor and lean back onto the heels. Or if you want to do the full extension of the pose, the feet are flat along the floor. You take hold of your heels and just let that head drop back. If you have any issues with your neck here, just keep your neck in alignment with your spine. If your neck is comfortable, then let it drop back. Push those hips and thighs forwards, and just enjoy this back bend and shoulder opener. And don't forget to breathe. And then just take a little bounce back up to seated. And then we're going to come between the heels. In Kundalini, this is called celibate pose. So we're going to sit between the heels, come back onto the mat. If you can, come back all the way. And if you're comfortable there, take the arms above the head and hold onto the elbows. This is a slight back bend too. We're keeping the sitting bones on the floor and really getting a stretch into the quads, but also opening out the heart. Just really enjoy this stretch and breathe into it. You're doing really well. Okay, from here, come back up to seated and get those legs out in front of you. Give them another little shake if you like. It's quite an intense pose. And then lean back into your hands, and we're going to do a Kundalini abdomen exercise. So we're going to lift one leg after the other, using our abdominal strength and core to keep the legs straight and bring them up. So lean back into those hands, but really the work is coming from the thighs and the abdomen. And just keep going. Single leg lifts, alternating. Breathing in as they come up and out as they go down. And now we're going to do something similar, but from the Kundalini tradition, but we're going to scissor those legs. So lean back into the hands and then scissor the legs one way and then the other. So you change the cross each time you scissor them. And just keep breathing. Really use your breath to help you focus here. You can use quite a rapid in and out breath. Well done. And now we haven't quite finished with the abs yet, I'm afraid. So we're going to fall backwards, lie back along the mat, and I want you to raise your feet as though you're going to stamp to the ceiling. Really tighten up that core and glue your spine to the floor, and then we're going to drop the legs down 30 degrees, another 30, another 30, hold them, bring them back up. Drop them down 30, another 30 degrees, another 30 degrees, bring them back up. Drop them down 30, another 30 degrees, another 30 degrees, and bring them back up. Drop them down 30, another 30, another 30. We just hold them here. Just hold it, really, really let that use your core. And then bring the legs in. Well done. And just give them a little rock and roll from side to side, holding onto those knees. That has been quite taxing on the abdomen. And then just roll up to seated on the spine, and the spine a little workout. And then meet me at the front of the mat with your legs crossed. And now we're going to do Lord of the Fishes. So I want you to cross your right leg over your left, raise your right hand high, and we'll either take the bind here, or you can hold on to the knee, or you can hold on to the outside of the knee. It's up to you. Take this to where you want. This is half Lord of the Fishes. So you can either take it like this as a bind, or you can just hold on to the knee. Either way, it's a really strong twist into the abdomen. Keep breathing. Keep breathing down into that diaphragm. Okay, release that twist. And now we're going to come into cow face pose. So stack those knees on top of each other. And we're going to raise up the right hand and take the left hand from underneath, the right hand over the top and the left hand underneath. And take a deep breath in here. And if you feel comfortable and you want a bit more stretch, bring the head to the knees. If you don't need any more stretch, or you're struggling to get one knee on top of the other, then just do the legs. You don't really need to do the arms or the head if you're finding it difficult to do the legs. Okay, so sit back up, release the hands, and then we're going to do that on the other side. So this time, the right knee comes to the mat, the left foot stamps on the outside of the right knee, and we're going to raise that left hand and either come to the knee or to the outside of the knee, or you can take the bind. So the left hand comes underneath the knee and takes hold of the right hand behind the back and gaze over that right shoulder. And breathe, keep breathing. The more we breathe in these twists, the healthier it is for the internal organs. And then look to the front of the mat, and we're going to take that cow face pose. So stack the knees on top of each other. It doesn't matter where the knees come to, they may not sit on top of each other, one may be up. It's just getting that really good stretch in the glutes and the hip flexors. And then take the left hand up and the right hand underneath and take the clasp, or you can use a strap here, or don't use the hands at all, and then fold forward over the knee if you want to. This is quite an intense pose, so take it to where you feel that you're getting the most benefit. And then come back up with an in-breath, release the hands, and then release those legs, and then come into, take the left leg long along the mat, out to the side, with the knee and the toes facing up, and twist to the right, keeping the right hand on the left knee, and then twist over the side. So we're getting a really, really good stretch in the right hand side of the body. So the right hand has come to the left foot, and we're gazing underneath the left hand. If you can't reach your foot, it doesn't matter, as long as you're getting that stretch down the right hand side. And then just look towards that foot and fold over the knee. And breathe. And then we're we're going to come back up to sitting, take the legs out wide, to wide legs, I'm going to do a wide leg forward fold. So push up onto the sitting bones, knees and toes facing the ceiling. If you can, take hold of the toes. If you can't, just hold on to your legs and then bring the head down towards the mat and just fold forward, making sure the knees and the feet are working so we're not putting any strain on anything. And then really just feel into that fold. And then come back up to sitting. We'll take that stretch on the other side. So this time the left foot comes into the right groin and we're going to take the left arm up and over to the right foot this time. If you can't reach the right foot, that's fine. As long as you're feeling that stretch down the left hand side of the body. You're doing really well. And now we're going to just fold over that foot, over that knee. So if you can take the foot, that's great. And if you can't, just fold forward, it's fine. And just keep breathing here. You're doing really, really well. And we're nearly there. So come back up to sitting. And then just come into a cross-legged pose. Take a nice deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now what I'd like us to do is to try and get into lotus pose. If you can't do lotus, try half lotus. But let's have a try. So if you can do full lotus, that's great. And we're just going to take the weight of the lotus in our hands. So push the hands down into the mat and just lift the bottom just for a few seconds off the floor. And then bring it back down. And from here, we're going to do the ego eradicator for 1 minute. So raise the hands to 60 degrees, fold in the fingers, stick out the thumbs, and breath of fire through the nose, pumping the belly like bellows. Rapid out breaths, passive in breaths through the nose. And breathe, keep going. Breath of fire, firing up the internal organs. Keep going, pumping the stomach like bellows. You're doing really well. Use the focus on the breath so you don't focus so much on the sensations in the legs. Keep going. You're doing really, really well. Keeping those elbows really straight to get the maximum out of this pose. Keep going. And then in breath, hold it in, pull up on the root lock, bring the hands together, spread out the hands, bring the thumbs together above the head, and then with the out breath, still pulling up on the root lock, swipe the aura, bringing the hands slowly down with the out breath, holding the breath out, in breath, out breath, and let go. And now we're going to try and change the cross of our legs with that lotus. So if you were doing half lotus, put the other foot onto the thigh. And if you were doing full lotus with me, then we'll change the cross. So the other foot comes on the top this time. And then again, we're going to push up into those hands and take the weight for a few seconds. Really, really, really utilising this lotus pose. And then come back onto the bottom. And we're going to do another ego eradicator for 1 minute. So take the hands high to 60, fold in the fingers, stick out the thumbs, and then breath of fire through the nose. Pumping the stomach like bellows. You're doing really well. We're nearly there. Keep going. Keep going. Focusing on that breath. Heating the abdominals, heating the internal organs. Burning out toxins. You're doing so well. Just keep going. Keep those elbows straight. All of these exercises are going to help with elimination of toxins. So just keep going. You're going to feel amazing tomorrow. Keep going. Push that stomach up like bellows, like a panting dog. Rapid out breaths through the nose, passive in breaths. And bring the hands up, thumbs to touch, fingers spread wide. Hold the breath in, push it up, pull up through the root lock. And then with the out breath, keep the root lock pulled up, keep it forced up. Bring the hands, swipe the aura, bring them down to the floor. And then take a nice in-breath. You can release that lotus now. And then we're just going to take a few breaths here. We're going to do a box breath. So a box breath is, we're going to count in for 3. Hold it for 3. And then breathe out for 3. Hold it out for 3. Breathe in for 3. Hold it in for 3. Breathe out for 3. Hold it out for 3. Hold it in. Bring it in for 3. Hold it out. Hold it out. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. Hold it. And just take a regular breath here, in and out through the nose. If you'd like to take a Shavasana, 5 to 10 minutes, and do so. And may the long time sun shine upon you, all love surround you, and the divine light within you guide your way on. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me today.